Today we're going to start part of what's going to be a series of episodes concerning or addressing how does somebody who's just starting out in hiking, or a person sitting at home saying, well, I'd like to get out and hike. I'd like to walk around some more and take nature in, but I just don't know if I'm physically fit enough, or do I have the right equipment, or what exactly do I need to get out and hike, and where can I go do it? So we're going to first talk about what's most important. Well, I would say if you're just starting out, just now wanting to get out and hike, know your limitations. And by knowing your limitations, I mean, if you're a couch potato and carrying a few extra pounds, you're probably not ready to go up into the Adirondacks or take on any type of hikes that have any great deal of elevation change or require a lot of miles to hike. You might want to start off in some local parks. Look for hikes or trails where you're not far from your car. You don't want to push yourself too hard. Nothing will discourage you more from pursuing your interest in hiking than having a few bad experiences, going out and getting blisters, or just hiking so far that you can't get yourself out of bed the next day because your muscles are sore. You'll have opportunities to do that once you become an experienced hiker, trust me. But starting off, make sure you only bite off what you can chew. Meaning, look at some local hikes, relatively flat ground. Everybody has parks near them. Start off with that. Or if you are somebody who's physically fit, say for example you're an avid 5K runner or biker, you like cycling, you might be ready to maybe jump into the deep end of the pool. Maybe you're ready for those more strenuous or more challenging hikes. Again, know your fitness level. Don't push it too far. And I would say, even if you're a person who considers yourself physically fit, take some time and take advantage of the resources that are out there and learn about where you're going to hike. If you're going to travel somewhere further from home, find out about the trail conditions. Study some maps. Don't just go running out into the woods and say, gee, I can run a marathon. Walking 10 miles through the mountains shouldn't be any problem for me. You really don't need to be physically fit to get started, however. Just get out there and, again, know your fitness level and then come up with a plan. Where do you start hiking? Well, I kind of addressed that already. Look for local parks, some interesting places nearby, whether there might be some state parks that have waterfalls, fire towers. Just look for something of interest that could possibly be as close to your car as just 2 miles or 3 miles or a mile and a half. But you should make your hikes interesting. If you're just going to be walking around a pond and walking through the woods, well, that could get boring real fast. Seek out some interesting hikes. And the last part of this, but definitely the most important, what do you need to bring with you? Even on a simple day hike. I'm a big believer in habits. You need to start your habits right from the beginning. And those habits need to include bringing the 10 essentials with you. Now, I'm not going to get into item by item on what the 10 essentials are with this episode, because that's going to be an episode in its own. But some of those things that you should always have with you is a source is some sort of rain protection, a map and compass. Practice using your compass. If you don't know how to use it, you could practice using it on some local hikes where there's well-defined trails. That's the best way to practice, so you don't get lost and you're not relying on that map and compass to get around, but it will familiarize you with how to use the map and compass. And there's plenty of tutorials out there that could guide you. Have the right kind of shoes. Blisters are a big problem. A lot of first-time hikers will say to me, I hiked and I did 3 miles and my feet were killing me. I had blisters. Try to have your shoes broken in before you go out and hike. Have the right footwear. It doesn't take long. If you go out and find a good hiking pair of shoes, wear them around the house. Wear them when you go out casually and get a few miles on them to break them in. Today's hiking shoes and boots break in a little bit faster than the ones as people over 50 grew up on. We don't have these 10-pound leather boots that take forever to break in. These shoes break in relatively quickly. And you always want to bring water with you. Don't ever say to yourself, well, I'm only going on a mile hike. I don't need it. Again, it's habit. Make it a habit. I would say, my rule of thumb is a liter of water for approximately every 3 to 5 miles I intend on hiking. Anything under 5 miles, whether it's a half mile or 5 miles, I'm bringing a liter of water with me. Start the habits now. Let this stuff come to you naturally. You'll have plenty of opportunities to make some of those fun mistakes and have some of those adventurous or interesting outings. But to foster your interest in this, to advance yourself, to make sure you're having an enjoyable experience, make sure you have what you need. Don't push your limits. Become familiar with the area where you're going to hike if you're not already. Hiking can be a way to get yourself into shape. Many people use it as a way to get themselves off the couch and to start dropping those stubborn pounds they can't get off. There's a number of reasons why people start hiking and getting outdoors. It could be just looking for a new interest, want to reconnect with nature, or maybe you just are finding that you've been maybe sitting on the couch a little too long and want to drop a few pounds or get into better shape. It's never too late. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll listen to the follow-up episodes where I will next talk about the essentials, the 10 essentials you need on a hike. And in the third and final episode of this segment, I'll talk about where to hike, some interesting places you might want to seek for a good hiking experience. Thanks for listening. Get outside and have some fun.